Hello, everybody. I read chapter 2, and it's called Positive Teams Create Positive Cultures. And as you can guess, this chapter is about cultures. So one quote that really stood out to me was that great teams have great cultures. And what stands out to me in that quote is the great part. It doesn't just say teams have cultures, because they do. But if you want to be a great team, you have to have a great culture, and that's the underlying the denominator between all great teams, that they have a great culture. And in order for this to happen, it has to be a priority. So cultures are made up of what you think, say, and do every day, whether you're with your team or not, because it all affects our team culture. And team cultures are constantly changing because what you say, think, and do are going to be different every day, and depending on what you say, think, and do, the culture is changing. Cultures are also brought to life by every single person. So not just the leaders, not just the coaches, not just one person. Every single person on the team affects what that culture is going to be. And it actually reminds me of, it made me think, I should say, of a metaphor. Okay, so teams are made up of a ton of different people with a ton of different strengths and weaknesses. So it kind of made me think of this metaphor, analogy, whatever, of bodies of water. Okay, so bear with me. So you know that just as teams are made up of individuals, rivers are made up of individual creeks that come together as one. And so, one creek might be really good at shooting and scoring, and another creek might be really good at making plays and passing, and another creek might be really good at encouraging your teammates. But at the end of the day, all of those creeks converge into one river flowing in the same direction. And little science lesson, what creates those creeks to all just converge at the same place eventually is gravity. And so gravity is kind of like the culture of your team. It takes the individuals and the culture carries them into one, going towards one goal, flowing together. And with that, I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but sometimes creeks get really stagnant and it always smells bad, and there's nasty things living there and growing, and starts to have diseases in the water, that's just gross. But it's because it's not buying into the gravity. It's not letting, the gravity's not taking it anywhere. It's not letting the gravity take it anywhere. And, the gravity's trying to pull it along, but it just won't go. And sometimes that happens with teams, that some people, aren't buying into the team culture, and they're not gonna converge as one with the team unless they let that gravity take them. And so, you're supposed to try your hardest to get everybody on the team to buy into the culture, but in the case that doesn't happen, then you're gonna have to build a dam. You're gonna have to, say, well, if you're not gonna let this gravity take you to us, then we're gonna have to cut you off. Because, like I said before, every single person affects the team culture. So if one person is affecting it in a negative way, and they refuse to buy into the culture, then there's really nothing left to do. You don't want your river to be tainted by nasty diseases or anything. You don't want the little critters that are growing there to be in your river. You want your river nice and flowing in the same direction and not standing still. So sometimes, unfortunately, you do have to cut people out if they're not going to buy in, because we're all great in our own ways, but that's not what makes us a great team. What's going to make us a great team is having a great culture. Yay. Goodbye.